Spirit Halloween's Ghostbusters stuff is outstanding, especially for the price. I reviewed the Paragoggles, the Ghost Trap, the PKE Meter, and the Proton Pack, link in the description. Today we're going to look at their longevity. How have these items held up after their first year of service? Not that I've used them lately, they've been in their boxes for months because of, well, you know, this year. Conventions, parties, and events might be a thing of the past, but busting still makes us feel good. I've done a bit of paint weathering on all of these items, so they don't look like this immediately out of the box. We'll start with the goggles. Now the Paragoggles, inside, I wouldn't say it's padding, but there's some kind of rubbery material around it so you can put on your face without feeling too sore. That being said, I wouldn't recommend wearing it for hours at a time. The rubber hasn't cracked or broken yet. The Velcro hasn't ripped itself out of the straps. The straps themselves, the elastic, it still works. It's still squishy. What I'd recommend is making it loose enough that it can sit on top of your head so the goggles are on your forehead. Don't put it too tight so it squeezes against your head. That'll hurt, despite the rubbery material. They haven't dropped. I don't know how well these would survive a fall or two. Don't drop them and you should be fine. The Ghost Trap is still intact. The only issue I've found with it, okay, well, there are a few things. Starting with the handle is kind of loose. It has a bit of a wobble to it. It doesn't feel like it's going to break off, but it doesn't feel as sturdy as I would like. You could probably reinforce the base, a little metal bracket, something like that should keep it in place, and you'll be set. Other than that, the doors are not really solid. They're loose and wobbly. Not really a big issue if you're just going to have it as a display piece. Might not be a big deal for you, just something to keep in mind. There is a new version of this, apparently exclusive to Walmarts in the States, with a pedal, not the pedal, but a pedal, and that one has sturdier doors that open and close electronically. That might be something worth looking into. But the Spirit one is fine for me. The belt loop hasn't broken, the wheels still roll properly, the electronics work. It's fine, just be careful, don't drop it. The PKE Meter. Now my PKE Meter has seen some action. The belt loop is not exactly the sturdiest way to store it, so mine has fallen on the ground a few times at conventions, but it still works. Well, for the most part. See, I've noticed that the lights on the wings don't all activate. Yeah, that kind of sucks. So, what should any responsible busting fan do but buy another one? Here's my second PKE Meter. I have not yet had time to paint it, or rather I didn't get around to painting it. It works fine. Right? Well, maybe. Out of the package, the wings do not deploy. Hell, they don't deploy in the package. You have to pinch the top of the arms on the hinge when turning it on for the wings to deploy. So the Try Me feature in the packaging did not work. I had to open the box and squeeze those arms in to get the wings to deploy. But once I did that once, it works just fine. This is the case for both of my meters. It is worth mentioning though that my original meter, when I look back at old footage, I noticed that not all of its lights would activate. And that's before I dropped it a few times. Also, the new one, fresh out of the box, not all of the wing lights activate on the new one. It's not really a big enough issue for me to want to open them up and rewire them myself, but it is worth mentioning. The Proton Pack. I gotta admit, wearing this for days at a time at a convention, no problem, because it's not a full-size, full-weight model. Little lightweight plastic and cardboard thing, no problem at all. No issue with the construction or the lights and sounds. I did replace the straps for more accurate outlet straps though. Not the full frame, just the straps. The issue I had is with the round hole storage mechanism for the wand. I didn't really feel like using a V-hook or building my own holstering mechanism, so I just put some electrical tape to try to keep the wand plugged into place properly. That didn't really work. So after a few falls too many, well, okay, it still functions, just that the handle segment seems to have snapped off. A bit of epoxy and I can fix this up, it's not really a big deal. Some metal plates if I wanted to, or just maybe put some duct tape on top of it just for the right look. It's not really a big deal because I'm going to replace the particle thrower with the Spengler wand anyway. Okay, so basically, I think what I learned is the spirit stuff is fine, just don't drop any of it. And just to reiterate, this stuff is totally worth it, especially if you use the 20% off coupon on the store locator section of the Spirit Halloween website. I didn't pay full price for any of this. Remember, the Proton Pack is not a toy, and neither is any of this stuff, so please be careful with it, and you'll be just fine. I got some more busting stuff in the pipeline, gonna try to get it all ready for Halloween. We'll see what happens. Be seeing you.